Hi, and welcome to this RentAdmin tutorial. In this video, I will guide you step by step on how to easily import your data into RentAdmin using its powerful import facility. Whether you're transitioning from another system, setting up your RentAdmin account for the first time, or simply updating your data, this tutorial will help you understand the process from start to finish. I'll walk you through everything you need to know, including preparing your files, using the import tools effectively, and troubleshooting common issues. By the end of this video, you'll have the confidence to manage your data imports seamlessly. We'll break down the process of uploading data into manageable steps, covering each key area in the following order. Owners. We'll start by uploading details about property owners, ensuring their information is accurately recorded. Properties. Next, we'll move on to uploading property data, making sure all property details are properly structured. Tenants or applicants. After that, we'll cover how to import tenant or applicant data, ensuring a seamless transition of records. Tenancies. Lastly, we'll tackle importing tenancy information, bringing everything together to complete the setup. By following this order, you'll have a clear and straightforward path to successfully uploading all your data into RentAdmin. Now let's head over to RentAdmin and take a look at the required file format for uploading data. First, click on the Import option in the left-hand menu. This will open the import facility where you can view the structure and requirements for the file. It's important to ensure your data matches the format shown here so that it can be imported smoothly without any errors. First, let's create a comma-separated file, CSV, for owners. A CSV file is a simple format used to organize your data in a way that RentAdmin can easily read. For this tutorial, I'll be using Excel to create the file, but you can use other applications like Google Sheets or any text editor if you prefer. The steps will remain essentially the same, regardless of the tool you choose. Now let's fill in the details for our first owner. We'll start by entering the owner reference in the first column. This reference must be unique and should not already exist in the system. It acts as a distinct identifier for each owner, helping RentAdmin manage and organize your data efficiently. We have chosen OW101. Make sure to choose a clear and consistent naming convention for your references to avoid any confusion later on. Now we can fill in the owner type and other details. To save time, let's fast forward through the process of entering all the necessary details for our owner. With our first owner's details entered, let's move on to adding the second owner. Just like before, start by entering a unique owner reference for this owner, then fill in other details. Repeat this process for as many owners as you need to add, ensuring that each reference remains unique to avoid any conflicts in the system. Once we've added the details for all owners, we'll proceed to the next step. Now that our data is complete and saved in the correct CSV format, we're ready to upload it to RentAdmin. Head back to RentAdmin. In our demo system, you'll notice that we currently have only one owner listed. This provides a clear starting point, so once we upload our new data, we'll be able to see the additional owners reflected in the system. Head back to the Import section in the RentAdmin menu. Select the appropriate import option for owners, then click on Upload File. Choose your CSV file and follow the prompts to confirm the upload. Once the file is processed, RentAdmin will validate the data and notify you of any errors or issues that need correction. If everything looks good, your owner details will be successfully added to the system. Now let's take a look at the owners list in RentAdmin. Here we can see that both of our newly added owners have been successfully uploaded into the system. This confirms that our data import was completed accurately and without any issues. Let's take a look at the required format for the property import file. Among the property details, we'll focus on a few key fields. Property reference. This serves as the unique identifier for each property. It must be distinct and not already in use. Unit reference. This field uniquely identifies each unit within a property and must be unique within the system. Owner reference. This links the property to the corresponding owner, ensuring the correct association in the system. By including these details in our file, we'll ensure that properties and their units are accurately imported and properly associated with their respective owners. Let's now create our CSV file for the properties. Let's start with the property reference. I've chosen P101 for the first property. This reference is unique and not already in use in the system. The number of units field indicates how many units are in a property. For a single unit property, enter 1. For properties with multiple units, enter the total number of units. Since our property has 1 unit, we need to provide 1 unique unit reference for this property. Enter the reference such as UT1 in the unit reference column. For the owner reference, enter the reference of the owner who owns this property. Since we only have 1 owner for this property, we'll use OW101. If there were multiple owners, you would list them here separated by a comma. Now let's add our second property. For this property, choose a unique property reference, like P102. Then assign a unit reference, for example UT2, and the appropriate owner reference, in this case OO101, as it belongs to the same owner. Now let's add the third property, which will be a multi-unit property. For this property, choose a unique property reference like P103. Since it's a multi-unit property with 3 units, we will enter 3 unique unit references. For example, UT3, UT4, and UT5. Next, assign the property to the second owner, OW102. Be sure to fill in all other details, including the address and number of units, 3, and save the file once done. Let's quickly update the postcodes to valid ones, as invalid postcodes will cause an error during the import. Now that our data is complete and saved in the correct CSV format, we're ready to upload it to RentAdmin. Great! RentAdmin has successfully uploaded the data into the system. The message confirms that 3 records have been successfully uploaded, meaning all properties and their details have been added without any issues. Now let's take a look at our properties list in RentAdmin. You should see the 3 properties we just uploaded, including their details and associated owners. Let's take a closer look at one of the properties. We'll open the multi-unit property to review its details. Let's review the property details. Here we can see the property reference and address exactly as we defined them in the file, confirming the data was uploaded accurately. Now let's review the unit details. Here we can see the 3 unique unit references we assigned, along with their corresponding details, confirming that each unit was successfully added to the system. Now we're ready to upload some tenants or applicants to RentAdmin. To add a tenant or applicant, start by assigning a unique tenant reference for each individual. Then enter their personal details, such as their name and contact information. The tenant reference is important because we will use it to attach the tenant to a tenancy later on. Be sure each reference is unique to avoid any errors during the import process. Let's add 2 tenants. Now that our data is complete and saved in the correct CSV format, we're ready to upload it to RentAdmin. Now select the Upload option for Tenants in RentAdmin and upload the file you've prepared. Once the file is uploaded, RentAdmin will process the data and add the tenants to the system. RentAdmin shows that 2 records have been successfully uploaded, confirming that both tenants have been added to the system. Let's take a look at the Tenants section to verify. Here we should see the 2 tenants we just uploaded, along with their details, confirming that everything has been added correctly. Now we are ready to upload tenancy information to RentAdmin. You will notice that the data file contains several references. These are needed to link the tenancy to the correct property reference, unit reference, and tenant reference. Firstly, the tenancy reference is used to identify the tenancy. This reference must be unique. The unit reference is what we provided previously. It associates this tenancy with the specific unit. The tenant reference is also from the earlier data. It links the tenant to this tenancy. Next, we provide the tenancy length in months, the payment frequency, for example, weekly, monthly, the payment amount the tenant will pay, and finally, the start date of the tenancy. Now let's add the details for the second tenancy. Ensure you assign a unique tenancy reference, provide the correct unit reference and tenant reference, and fill in the tenancy length, payment frequency, payment amount, and start date. Now let's go to RentAdmin, select the upload option for tenancies, and upload the file containing the tenancy details. We can click the View File Format button in RentAdmin to double-check that our file aligns with the required format before uploading. Next, click the Upload button to upload the file containing the tenancy details into RentAdmin. Great! RentAdmin tells us that it has successfully imported 2 records. This means both tenancies have been successfully added to the system. On the dashboard, we can see that we now have 2 active tenancies. This confirms that the tenancies were successfully added and are now active in the system. Let's take a look at the Tenancies section to verify. Here we should see the 2 tenancies we just uploaded, along with all their details confirming that everything has been set up correctly. Let's click on one of the tenancies to see how it has been set up. Here we'll be able to review the details, including the tenant reference, unit reference, payment terms, and start date, ensuring everything was correctly imported. As this tenancy had a past start date, we can see that the system has automatically created a number of payment schedules starting from that date. These are highlighted in red to indicate they are late and remain unpaid. Now let's take a look at the other tenancy. This tenancy details page shows that the tenant owes £950, with only one payment schedule remaining unpaid, as the start date was today's date. Now let's go over some troubleshooting tips. We'll look at some common errors that can be displayed during the import process and how to resolve them. First, let's try uploading the same owner document we used in the first section. Since the system already has those owner references in use, it should prevent us from uploading them again and display an error message. Here we see the errors. RentAdmin is telling us that on row 2, the owner reference already exists in the system, and the same for row 3. It also shows the offending values, OW101 and OW102, which are already in use. Now let's take our owner's data file and change the owner references to OW105 for both records. Even though OW105 does not exist in the system yet, having it duplicated in the file will cause an error, as RentAdmin expects each reference to be unique. Let's try uploading this updated file to the system. As expected, RentAdmin has displayed the errors. While the system does not show the row number, it does indicate the error type as duplicate and lists the offending value, OW105, which appears more than once. When a reference, such as a tenant reference, is not found by RentAdmin, like when uploading a new tenancy, it will check the reference and produce an error if the reference does not exist in the system when it should. Let's demonstrate this by modifying the tenancy file we uploaded earlier. This time we'll change the tenant reference to something that does not exist in the system, such as T1045, and the unit reference to UT444, which also does not exist in the system. Let's try uploading this updated file to the system. As we can see, RentAdmin produces some errors. On row 2, it shows an error in the tenant reference column with the error type does not exist, listing the offending value T1045. On row 3, it shows an error in the unit reference column with the error type does not exist, listing the offending value UT444. This clearly shows the problem and allows us to pinpoint the errors in our file. We can easily correct them by updating the tenant reference and unit reference to valid values, ensuring the upload process goes smoothly. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.